Well, good morning, our beloveds. Feels like it has been around a week since we have channeled through our another. She is changing so much and is finally taking a few days for herself because it is more than overdue. Her body is tired because all she is doing human doing when she came to be a human being. And yet her fear and her worry and her concern about her future spurs her on to do. Yet now she does it when the point of inspiration brings her to that point of motion or movement. So it's not that she is acting out of worry. She is just worrying. But she is now looking at what her options and opportunities are. And then she acts or engages in life from a place of creation. So she is finally shifting her mindset on what it is to manifest. Manifestation is not the action you take. It is the inner work that you engage in, meaning you calm your body's vibration to a place of trust. It is a place that many of you honestly don't connect to or reside within because you are all trauma-based beings. And it will become apparent to you within the next 3 months where your trauma lies, because it is still coming up, bubbling up, to be seen, to be felt, to be heard, to be released, to be replaced, and to be honored. Your trauma from your past has shaped you. It's that simple. And yet you deny, no, that not hurt. I'm resilient, I am strong. But the reason why you are resilient and why you are strong is because you had to adopt coping mechanisms in your youth, in your younger years, to keep you safe within your emotional body as well as your physical body. And then, just like good creatures of patterns and habits, you just stuck to them because it's easier not to change than it is to change. And you keep going back to those same behaviors, but if you try to manifest in these new energies from a place of fear, you're not going to manifest that which you desire. In the old energy, believe it or not, you're able to manifest because it didn't really matter too much what the vibration came from that underpinned your desire. It was your attracting the material manifestation that mattered. But here, in this new energy, it is about abundance and not lack, about compassion and collaboration and creative thinking instead of being a cog in the big wheel. You're beginning to see how life is shifting for many of you. And for those of you who are still in the old paradigm, that's fine. You'll come when it's time. But for those of you who want something different and want something new, you're creating it too. You're finding that when you are in a vibration of fear or lack, that you attract more fear or lack experiences to you. And when you are in a vibration of love and compassion, you attract more experiences that are based on love and compassion. Now, when you are in a love and compassion space and some fear or lack issue arises, it is not because you are attracting it per se. It is to test your boundaries, to see how well have you learned these lessons, how well have you integrated these new skills and belief systems, so that when the shark comes up to bite you, do you pet him on the nose or do you punch him in the nose? When you come from a place of love, you generally react from a place of love, even though it may be tough love or firm love. But nonetheless, it comes from that inner space of generosity, not because you were taught to do that or be that, but because you really vibrationally are that. And we can tell you as our another is working at healing her trauma through a lot of inner work. PTSD really does vibrate at the cellular level. But when you do EMDR, brain spotting, and those types of techniques to release the cellular trauma, it then means that not only are you releasing the energy, but for that particular issue, you are resetting the programming as well through tried and true techniques. So this is not the only way that you can do it, but just recognize if you only release the trauma but don't actually reset the imprint, then you may teach yourself not to be triggered, but you haven't reset the blueprint where you simply won't be triggered. And that is the difference between training yourself like a dog to sit and beg for a treat versus just petting your dog and just being present with him and loving him all the time and allowing him to have the treats whether or not he sits and earns it. And it's not that teaching your dog those tricks is a bad thing, but we're trying to point out the difference. One is earned behavior. Oh, so-and-so triggered me and I didn't react, versus I feel so differently within my body when that issue came up. It felt like my body's response was different. I felt safer. I felt more in control of myself without even having to try. This is what we're working on with our another, and this is her unique particular journey. But we can tell you as we watch her growth, her actual vibrational imprint, the God particle, if you will, is being reset a little bit every day as she works through her own trauma triggers. And belief is important. It really is important. But what if it wasn't even belief? What if it just is? What if your belief flows from what is? So what if you feel safe within your body, and therefore your belief becomes, I am safe within my body because it just is, versus you having to say or repeat affirmations to remind yourself that you are safe. Both matter and both have their place, because one is just a reminder of what it feels like to be within that imprint of love and safety and collaboration and courage and compassion and self-expression. When you get to express your self-identity so fully as you, instead of as the trained you, only then will you all really understand what it feels like to be safe within your body, your mind, and your soul. And so it is. Namaste.